Hey guys, how are you today? I'm just going to give you guys some quick updates on my fish tanks this week. As you may know if you follow me on my official channel Instagram, I've had a lot of things going on with my fish tanks, and I just want to keep you guys up to date and in the loop. Yes, I did straighten my hair today and it's a little weird, but we're going to go with it. Also, I was recently gifted a light that will hopefully allow me to make better quality videos in my actual fish room where all my tanks are, so I'm really excited about that too. This video will also be the last chance to enter the giveaway if that's something that you want to do. It is for a hand-painted goldfish canvas, some cute little channel buttons, and for an aquarium care package that'll maybe have some plants or decorations or food in it if you are an aquarium keeper. So if that is something that you're interested in, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel and just drop me a comment saying that you want to be entered. That's simple. So yeah, I'm just going to show you my tanks now. I am so happy, as always, to have all of you, my wonderful friends. So we're just going to take a look at my fish now and see what's been going on. So starting with my Aquascape Challenge tank, I do have a bit of bad news that I already shared on my Instagram, and that is that the neons ended up bringing in some ick to the tank. Ick, of course, is a highly contagious parasite, so I did have to treat them immediately, as well as all the other fish in the tank, though the neons were really the only ones that ever showed visible ick on them. I am happy to say now that after treating them for a couple of weeks with a natural heat and salt treatment, it seems as if all the ick is gone. There's still a little bit of chasing, obviously, between the neons, but so far, fingers crossed, everybody seems healthy, and I'm hoping that my problems with ick are over. I did keep them quarantined to try and keep the ick from spreading to any of my other tanks, but it of course caused me a lot of worry as a fish mom who's very worried about my fish and wants them to all be healthy and safe. Moving on to the sparkling gourami, one of the gourami, the one you see in the front there, has really just done great, seems to be getting bigger every day and fatter and more colorful, and is really just thriving, and the other gourami, well, it kind of looks the same as when I put it in. Not to say that it's doing bad or anything, but it just hasn't really had the same growth and coloration changes, and it seems kind of like the less dominant gourami. It doesn't get beat up or anything, but it does tend to follow the other gourami around and is a bit slower to eat, kind of picking up the food that falls. I don't know enough about gourami of how to sex them, so I don't know if maybe it's some sexual dimorphism showing up. I'm just not sure. Now, unfortunately, in the treatment of the tank, there was a lot of stress put on all the inhabitants, especially the shrimp, because as you know, I did get them on the day their shipment came into the fish store, and then I brought them home, and then I acclimated them to my tank, and then I immediately, the day I brought the shrimp home, I noticed the ick, so I had to put them straight into treatment, and it was just a lot, and I did end up losing 2 of my cherry shrimp. I still have 3 left, and I'm not sure if they're male or female, so I don't know if I'll get any breeding action, but I'm okay either way. Now, I did unfortunately notice that there are some pest snails. Now, pest snails, as you know, are healthy for an aquarium, so I'm not really worried about them. I wish I could have got snails that I wanted instead of these snails, but I'm not mad about it, and honestly, I do find them pretty cute and interesting, and my tank seems to be very clean and healthy, with not any, leftover food clouding up the water anymore, so all in all, I'm not too upset about the pest snails. And there's at least 5, so I'm hoping they don't take over too soon. Now moving on to my white veiltail Moby's tank. As you will notice, he also has one large snail, because when I do show the scape of his tank, you'll see that I did share some plants from my other aquarium, not thinking that it would bring over snail eggs. Now, so far, this is the only snail I've seen in his tank, and it seems to be a pretty chill little guy that helps me keep the algae on the tank under control, so I'm not really mad about him either. In fact, I watch him a lot, and I find him pretty interesting. Now, Moby is a little bit of a problem child for me. I really love this clip of him because he almost looks iridescent or almost holographic when he really gets in the light. It's very hard for me to get good picture and video of him because he is white, but he's a very soft white, almost kind of cellophane color, so in a lot of times I show him, he looks kind of yellow and not so great, but trust me, in person he is very pretty, and I love this picture of him all fired up and flaring because he's a little bit upset. But this day, the day that I brought Mushu home and started to acclimate him, is the day that Moby unfortunately started having problems with fin ripping, which is a very common problem in betas, especially these long-tail betas and betas that are very anxious souls, as Moby is. Now Moby will bite his tail over anything. He developed the habit of tail biting, and I have seen him, though I haven't caught it on video, spinning in circles chasing his own tail. Especially when he's upset, and he gets upset about everything. Any temperature change, like 2 degrees temperature change, will do it. If he catches a reflection, that'll do it. If he sees another fish in passing, or I get new fish and put it in a separate tank that he can see from his tank, that'll do it. He even kind of gets worried. As you can see, he'll pace if I'm too close to the tank. Just anything. He's a very sensitive fish, and he's my little anxious boy. It varies day to day. You never know what you're going to find. Sometimes his tail will be in tatters, and sometimes it'll be fine. As long as I keep the water clean, he does seem to heal pretty good on his own. Unfortunately, when it heals, it does come back sometimes see-through and not so pretty, but as long as he's healthy, I guess I don't mind too much. I still love his little black spot, and today, right now, his tail seems fine, so that's good. Now moving on to Mushu, my plakat beta. Or beta, or beta, however you say it. He continues to change color. Right now he has this little blue mustache, which I really love and I hope that he keeps. He's also developing these black spots on top of the iridescence that started over black, so that's a little confusing, but I still find him really beautiful. He continues to do really good. Because he has a short fin, I don't really have any problems with tail biting with him. He is my little bubble nest builder, and I mean he builds nests all the time. I actually can't think of a time recently where there hasn't been a bubble nest in his tank. He does big ones, ones that are connected, ones that span a great part of the tank, really thick ones, just all the time. He's a little busy guy. But I'm glad that he seems to be enjoying his tank and all the floating vegetation especially. And yeah, because he is in a 10-gallon, he's really my easiest, lowest care tank, lowest care fish. He is starting to develop a little bit of weird algae, and I'm thinking I might have to switch out the substrate. I was keeping it in case I decided to make this a community tank, but I think I've decided I have plenty of fish now, and I really just want to kind of keep my hobby where it's at for a while. And yeah, so I might end up changing his substrate soon to work on some of that algae. Now we're moving on to my goldfish tank that I do soon hope to improve. Aesthetically, at least. Now, you know Manfred is my channel mascot fish, and he is an absolute brat. This is some old footage when he knocked scales off his side, and he also knocked scales off his other side. Now, fancy goldfish are kind of predispositioned to hurting themselves on things, which is why I keep this tank pretty bare, except for the one decoration that he likes to hide under. But somehow he still injures himself. He kind of broke the cartilage bone, whatever's in their tail, which made those little white spots that are definitely not ick, even though they look a little bit like it. And he also scratched up his gill plate there, as you can see. The white spot on his tail is permanent, unfortunately. Now, this was the day that I woke up and he had this huge cut in his tail, a huge rip all the way up the side there, which is really kind of hard to look at. I have no idea how he could have done that or what in the tank he possibly could have hurt himself on. But as I said, I don't like to jump to medicine right away with fish if I don't have to. I just kept the water clean, and within a few weeks, his tail started to close up like a zipper, just like that. That did not seem to leave a mark. The only real mark left is the little place where it looks like he broke his tail. He is getting along better with Pi, even though there's still a little friendly chasing between them. Pi, of course, has grown, as you can see, and both seem to be doing really well in this tank. My main question that I now have for you all about Pi is if you look at the shape of the vent right next to the anal fin, you'll see an outward-facing vent. This is usually characteristic of a female goldfish, which is why I thought Pi was a female. For comparison, here is Manfred's vent, which as you can see is smooth and more concave. However, I recently noticed that on the gill plate, Pi started to develop breeding stars in the same way Manfred does. So now I have to wonder, is Pi a male or a female? How do I compare vent shape versus the appearance of breeding stars, or apparently breeding stars. It's not any disease. I treated them for every disease known to mankind, believe me, because I was so worried and I thought there was no way Pi could have breeding stars, but it turns out that's really what they look like and act like, so you guys let me know what you think. Well, I hope that you all made it to the end, and I hope that you enjoyed it. In sharing my journey here on YouTube, I really want you guys to be involved with my tanks and what's going on in the same way that I am. Because we're all a community, and we're all in this together, right? And I hope that you guys come to know and love my fish just as much as I do. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget that this will be the last video that gives you an opportunity to enter the giveaway if that's something that you want to do. And please don't forget to also follow me on my other social medias if that's something that you want to do. I'm not going to forget about my new light or the GoPro or any of those fun things I promised. So definitely going to have some cool things happening soon on this channel, and I hope that you are there to see them with me. Maybe even some more scapes? I don't know. Maybe. I hope that you guys had a wonderful day. Whenever I get to talk to you guys and see you guys every week, it makes my day wonderful. And yeah, I hope you continue to stick with me and be my friends in my fish keeping journey. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye! Comment saying that well, I hope that you all made it to the end. It was aggressive. Beat you up. Whew, I'm so tired. 5 hours of sleep a night is not enough. Don't forget that this is the last. I haven't forgotten about the GoPro or any of the other. Oh. Well, video this week. I am incredibly happy as. What is this? Woo, I'm a winner. It is for a hand painted goldfish canvas and butts and. Butts? What?